Alright guys, hello and welcome to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be starting a new series and a new game. We are playing Nascar Heat 5 today. Maybe a little bit outdated, I'm not sure, but I saw it on the store during the daily deals that they've been having on, so we're just going to jump in to a career mode. I don't think there's really a point in us starting. So I'm just going to jump through straight to the Cup series as we're going through our settings. I'm going to try and keep the races to about 13% races, I think I put it on. And that should be good enough to not be too long like the Formula 1 races that we've been doing, that are maybe just a bit too long and they're kind of hard to edit for me right now. But yeah, I played a bit of this game and I actually do quite like it. But yeah, let's just jump into this career mode. I think it'll be a created team, as we've got our driver here that are basically pre-made. But yeah, looking through the stuff, there's not much I need to change from our team. As we jump through, as we got a hot new phenomenon, jump straight to the Nascar Cup series as our agent here, Warren. Hi there, heard you want a shot in the Nascar Cup series. Before we get started, I just need to ask you a few questions. So, series involvement, I think I'm just going to stay with the Cup series this year. It is pretty long, I think like 36 races, but we're going to start a team here, not join a team, and we've got some logos to pick from, not many. Still Ford Racing, Pops as well as Channel and Black Storm, but I think I'm gonna go with Black Storm Motorsports. So we've got our pick of car here, the Alley with the Ford manufacturer, or the Procore with the Chevy. The Procore has a much larger signing bonus, but payout per race is a lot less, so I think I'm gonna go with Alley, because I think maybe we'll take a little bit of a hit at the start of the career mode. In the long term, we should be a lot better off, as we've got to purchase a car, 1 million, I think, US dollars. But our problem is that we've got some upcoming tracks, and there's a mystery. We've got a super speedway, a short track, and 3 speedways, which kind of means that we have to take a speedway car, which will give us hits in the super speedway and the short speedway races. But that should be okay, as we select an engine specialist for our first employee, which should be good for the super speedways. We're going to need a lot of engine power in towards the Talladega race, because we're going to be a lot lower down the order in that one, and I don't really think we're going to have much of a chance in that race. But here's our car then, looking all fancy smancy. Our Ford Alley number 23 Mustang, ready to jump in to this NASCAR season, as we are now ready to start our season in the Black Storm Motorsports 23 Ford. As Warren says, great, I'll get everything set up for us, so that is quite good. And some of the files weren't great. I don't know if I've kind of mixed a little bit up, but that shouldn't be terrible. As Warren says, we're good to go. I think we have makings of a great season. as now we can pick an incentive contract. So for $52,000 we can get 3 top 35s within our first 5 races. We can also get 3 top 25s within our 5 races and 4 top 25s within our 5 races. And I think I'm going to have to go with the 3 top 25s because we're not going to race well at Daytona or Phoenix. So I don't think we can get top 25 as well. I think I'm not that good at the game. So we can also buy a new car, but that's 1.6 million. As I'm going to assign Rory to our engine. Or I should sign Rory's. We've also got another position we can put in our team. So I'm going to hire probably an aerodynamic specialist. I don't really know why I picked Jordan. It doesn't really matter, I don't think, which one I have. And I'm going to upgrade her to have 5 on the aero. Just like our other specialist. But I'm going to upgrade 1 on the engine, 1 on the suspension. I'm going to do the same thing for Rory. So that now I can put Jordan on the aero, and because I can't put him on the engine, I can put him on the suspension. So that should be good anyway. As we're now jumping through to the first race of our 36 race seasons. I'm looking through the teams, it doesn't really matter as I look through the teams, but our first race in Daytona I don't think will be great. As you can see, mismatches. We're going to lose points as we're going to jump through to our event. I don't think I'm going to show much of this race. There is really no point because we're going to come last really. We haven't got the car for it, as we have qualifying, and that's really our one qualifying lap. We're not going to win again, are we? Our goal is at 46.5, but we're only hitting like 48s, which in NASCAR is literally you're starting last. So yeah, we're not really gonna do much in this race. And I don't think we're gonna trouble anybody. Really might start up with some like penalties or something, because that seems to be very frequent in this game. But you can see our goal is a 46 and there's no point for me to continue the lap. I'm just going to go into pit road. There is really no point. Apparently I have to finish the lap though, which is quite annoying, but there you go. Qualifying time 48.6 is easy 40th in this. Like, yeah, what am I going to do? As we're going to jump through to this race, and we're going to have really no chance of this one. But yeah, we'll jump through to this race in Daytona. Ryan Newman on pole position in the number 6 car. Chase Elliott has gave up his qualifying position for some new tyres for this one. And Joey Logano in the shell number 22 failed his pre-race inspection and he forfeits his qualifying position, so he will start up in 38th, but that I don't think will be enough for us to do anything in this race. As our acceleration might be good, we might be able to jump early, but once you get to the later stages of this race, if we make a mistake, we're not going to be able to do anything, are we? You can see we're in the draft, which should be quite good for us, as we should be able to hold on if we're in the draft. But as soon as we lose that draft, or go a bit slow or hit the wall and lose some speed, we're not going to do anything, as cars should be going now about like 194 miles per hour, and we're only hitting 196 or 197 in the slipstream as we hit the wall. And that is realistically our race completely over, and we have no chance of doing anything in this one, even with our target of 35. Yeah, not gonna do anything in this one. You can see I'm still in the draft, but we've lost that now, and we're not going to keep up with the pack. We've got no speed, we've got no aero. But yeah, no chance really of anything in this one. Like I'm saying, there's really no point unless we get a heap of cautions, maybe in a heap of cars out of here in a big crash. Maybe. I'm not sure, we'll have to see. As we jump forward, and all of a sudden, caution coming out. I'm trying to see what happened, but it doesn't look like I can tell anyone a long way down, as we're still 40th. As Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is out of this one. He's now 40th and we're 39th, so we're not going to finish last in this one. But I think nothing's going to happen from this one. Realistically, nothing should happen. 17 laps remaining. We'll fall out of the draft, we'll make a mistake, and then we're done. But you can see early gains don't make sense. Well, I think we've got a more car that'll accelerate better. We won't hit the top speeds. That's the problem I see. I try and break away and we get absolutely clobbered on the straights by the 24 of Byron. As soon as I pull out, we're no chance, as the fluoro green Camry tries to go through, and we basically block his move. He's going to get through this time. The 73 of Carter, as we have to cut across the grass to stay central on that one. And that is basically our one over. Again, no chance in this race. But yeah, let's just jump forward to the next bit that I've got lined up. As we're now kind of not really a smooth transition, but we're in Las Vegas for Las Vegas 500. I lost the footage in between these two. Nothing really happened. Basically what we did at the start. But yeah, the Las Vegas 500, as we're now trying to hit a time in our one lap doing this. Our qualifying goal is a 34.5, although I would be very surprised if we hit that in our car, because I did a bit of practice and I wasn't that quick, so we'll have to see how we go as we're flying around this corner. Unlike Daytona, this one is right in the middle, so what time can we get? What is it? It's a 34.2. We get our goal and it's 34th on grid, which is inside where we want to be. And if some people, you know, have some penalties, you never know where we could start in this one. As for the Las Vegas Pennzoil 400, we're going to the grid. And one thing I will complain about this game is the loading time. It is really quick compared to some other games. But the stories of the race, Darrell Wallace Jr. doesn't look like himself cold. Kinda driver rating, Kevin Harvick in the number 4, stellar weekend and the on fire, and he also grabs pole position in that very cool looking Busch Light Ford. As we're going green and we're underway, in our 34th position start, and we immediately kind of lose a position to Gaze. It's a Gaze. But hopefully we should be able to keep up with these guys as we can settle into a draft and maybe make up some positions early on and keep inside that top 35 to get our points, as we now have some cars going through on us, trying to get through on the inside as we get one position, but there are cars on our inside as we're fighting with Reagan and with Joey at the same time, as well as Haley trying to come through, and we can swoop in on all three of them as we have to brake for the Joey, which lets the other cars come back through. Is this a big back marker tussle here? Stenhouse Jr., who started 40th in this race, now into 33rd, and it looks like we might be in a battle with kind of Reagan and Joey. Stenhouse Jr. for that 35th position as we lose 35th to Hoff. I don't know, is it Hoff? I don't know. And now Haley gets through, and another car going through our inside, but we're going to look to make up positions maybe round the outside on the exit as Chad Fincham in the 49, and we're not looking particularly quick. I was hoping that it should be a calm top 35, but we'll have to see how this all plays out as we jump later and later into this race, as we're now on lap 9, still 38th, chasing Reagan as we've been stuck behind him for a while, and we can finally maybe go for a move on the 36 Select Byron's car. We give him a little left tap on the back, but it's not to be that time, as we've just been at a standstill behind him. As you can see, the 4 of Harvick, I think it is, catching us at a good rate as we can get another run on the 36. But can we really go into this turn and get him? I think we can. We're going to have to get a good enough exit. Finally, we get Reagan in the... oh, not Reagan. Is it Fincham? I'm not sure. In the Select Blinds 36. And we're going to have to block him and hope he doesn't get an easy way through, as we haven't blocked our high line or our low line pretty nicely there. We're trying to take some interesting lines to not let him get the draft, and hopefully we can catch up to the 2 cars ahead and make a go at 35 position, or the 35th position. But he just continues to be there, and he sticks a nose in, and he's gonna get us again. It's quite annoying as we have to back off. As I come back down the inside, Reagan's there as he has a little bit of a spinner, and he spun himself out. It's a little tap to the rear of our car, and the yellow, the caution, is out. And it wasn't a great bit of racing from us, but I don't think we were that terrible in that position. It wasn't great. And now, is this another chance to get this one, to get us up into the top 35, to give us a good chance at that goal? Because I think the short track, our aero will be too much for it. We won't have enough aerodynamic downforce. We might have the power, but we won't have the cornering speed, so we're going to need to make that count on the speedways, and we're not really making it count now, as we are catching Fincham and the pack ahead. But I wouldn't be surprised if we're not going to get any move done into this corner, as we try and take some interesting lines, but we're just over driving the car. As now onto lap 20 or 35, as we finally have a chance at Fincham, but it's another yellow, another caution, and maybe we might get promoted a position, as we are Jimmy Johnson out of this race. in our 36th, and if we can get a jump on Fincham, we can get that top 35, as we can't get the jump on the 49 Camry. We settle in behind him for the long haul in the last 12 laps of this race, as we hit the wall, and I'm now looking at my inside for Reagan. Don't go through the 36, it'd be quite annoying to have to pass him again, but I think he's going to get us. Oh, that would be quite annoying, but he's not, because we get the slipstream. We might never get in the draft, but I think a slipstream's still a thing, as Haley is quite high here. Might be able to catch and hang on to that car, as all it really takes is one crash, was having to block the 36 over and over again, and I think he is going to force us to not be able to make that top 35, but you never know, depending on how slowly Haley is driving. We'll have to see if we can catch his car, as I'm not sure who that is goes high, but there is a car up high, so we'll have to see if that results in anything, as Haley goes for a move on him, where we're to try and fly him through. I'm trying to take some inventive lines, thinking outside the box to gain some time, but I don't think we're going to make this one stick, and I think we might just sit 36 or 37th, but I guess you never say never until you cross that checkered flag to end the race, as we're now on to lap 32, then into turn 1. 37th lost the position to Reagan, and really in a bit of struggle streak here, not really making up any time on the car ahead. It's going to take really a miracle, I think, to get us into that top 35. But I guess you never know, as you can see Fincham, even if we get Reagan, it's 3 seconds ahead to Fincham anyway. So this one might be in the bin, and we might not have a good chance this one, as we are catching Reagan now. You can see he pops back in. You have a little kind of tail end, as we've got 2 laps remaining in this one. You see the number 4 catching as we hit the wall, and that feels like the end of my conquest. To me, it just doesn't look like we're going to be able to do anything to catch up, as there's a slow car going super on Reagan in the 36, as we're now pulling into 36, and now top 35 is a real prospect here if we can just grab Reagan. A car falling out of this race, I think it was the number 6, is now, I'm watching the gaps on our final lap. It's about a second to Reagan, and I have this motivation, but I don't think we're going to be able to do it. We're not quite close enough to even have a diver to move, so we're going to need something, a miracle to happen. Another DNF, maybe. You never know. As we're flying, and there, as we can catch Reagan, there's a car going slowly. It's smoking. It's Priest, and we're going to grab the position, or 2 positions. We're going to grab 34th somehow. I don't know how we've done that on the final lap of this one. We grab it. We grab Reagan slowing down, and Priest, who I don't know if they ran out of fuel, had a big mechanical issue, doesn't finish the race, and we grab his position as we get a decent payout for our finish, and we grab up 3 championship points. But that is massive. Kevin Harvick with the fastest lap. But yes, a massive win in the books, that is. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. started 36th and finished 14th, so good on him. And Jimmy Johnson started 16th and finished 40th with his DNF. But yeah, still the crazy scenes at the end of this race. Wow. That is a way to finish up our first episode. But yeah, I'm going to try and do 2 races per episode and get through the season in 18 episodes instead of 36. And that should be a little bit more action from you guys, for you guys as well. You can see our summary 34th. But yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. Yeah, have a good one and goodbye.